Good afternoon and welcome to the Promenade Ice Center here in Denver, Colorado. Colorado's finally got some snow last night, and it is a chilly afternoon here in Denver, Colorado. And we want to thank all of you for tuning in for today's game. Tonight, Metro State will get ready to face the University Wyoming Cowboys. It's going to be their third game of the season. We'll turn it over to the PA announcer, one of the Metro State-owned, Aiden Tilton, for the starting lineups. National anthem aside, but we still want to turn it over to the PA announcer here at the Promenade. We have a special guest in the building, the university president for Metro State, President Davidson, in the house for a ceremonial face-off over by the score temple. So we'll tune in for Aiden Tilton. And for everyone at home, again, that is the university president here in the house, President Davidson, coming in, dropping the puck at the center ice. And we appreciate her tuning in to today's game. We'll give you an insight to today's matchup. It is the third and final time that these two teams will meet. They met previously November 21st. It was a 7-4 win by Metro State, in which Cooper Peterson had a hat trick, along with Nate Fricky, TJ McLeod, and Jackson Tillinghast, and Labulio, that all got goals in that game. For Wyoming, on November 22nd, it was a back-to-back game. Metro State lost that by a final score of 4-1, where Braxton Thomas had 2 goals and Ian Bullard had 2 goals. There's a lot at stake for today's game, as today's winner will decide who locks into 3rd place in the division. 3rd place, whoever wins this game next week will be able to go over and travel to DU to face the 2nd place Pioneers, and then it could be either Metro State hosting a playoff game against CSU if they fall in today's game, and Wyoming going over to DU. So a lot on the line for tonight's game. Usually the workhorse for Wyoming side, Jesse Easterwood, got most of the starts. He's not here today, so in net it's Isaac Erickson that will get the start for the Cowboys. On the other end, it's going to be Patrick Loeffler. A turnaround shot here and a quick save by Erickson early on. Tied up. Roadrunners keeping its own. Tillinghast, good move there, and a shot sent wide. TJ McLeod turns around, sent behind the net, intercepted before he could reach behind the net, but a good keep in by McLeod, but they're going to call this a high stick. Patrick Loeffler, he's the main guy here at the Roadrunners. Got most of the starts, and he will get the start again. The face-off will go into the neutral zone. Near side, red dot. Donalyn will win this back. Millimon over to Patrick McGrath. Will backhand this in the corner. Labulio out in front of the turnover. Wyoming, a turnaround shot, and Loeffler covered her up. So early on, both teams getting a feel for this game. We saw a couple chances in Metro Zone. And it was a turnover behind the net. That was Christian Struber that took the puck out in front. Face off again. Martinez trying to make it room, still with a backhand and out. Patrick Loeffler there making a good save. Off the face-off, Wyoming with a good couple chances. Was Mario Rodriguez. He is the leading point. He's tied for first on this Wyoming side. Again, Struber. A turnaround shot set up and over the net. Wyoming keeps it in the zone. Gets it back to Struber. Behind the net, Millimon crashing. Switches places. Now Rodriguez in the corner. Tries to get it around 3 Roadrunners. Gets it to Millimon. So early on, Cowboys doing a good job getting set up in the Roadrunner zone. And this will trickle into Loeffler's glove. Talk a little bit about Mario Rodriguez. 27 games played this season. He has 18 goals, 13 assists, and he's tied for first for points. It's his 2nd year with the team. But in the 2 matchups between Metro State and Wyoming, he did not register a point, as this shot from the face-off gets covered by Loeffler and a nifty glove save. That was Venice. Nate Venice with the shot off the face-off, design play. Face-off again in the Roadrunner zone. Amos able to chop this puck, keep it in the zone. Roadrunners able to clear it out. Labulio with Tillinghast, gets it to Tillinghast, Jackson Tillinghast, a turnaround moving. And there will be a penalty shot here, no goal, as Tillinghast wasn't able to beat Erickson. But it will be a power play coming up for the Roadrunners. Nate Venice just talked about him will sit in the box. So the first power play of the game will go to the Roadrunners, and that play was all created by Mason Labulio in the neutral zone, was able to feed it to Tillinghast, but he wasn't able to finish the series of moves. But a power play opportunity. The Roadrunners win it in their own zone. TJ McLeod will fish this back to the point. Tillinghast will stop, look for a lane, gets it on net. Erickson, a rebound, and he covers it up with his butt. As Jackson Tillinghast put it on net, was looking for a tip. The rebound was there. Erickson wisely covered it up. 1:46 here on the power play. Tied up. Will come to the point. Over for Tillinghast. Clift on his left. Gets it back to Tillinghast. with room. Shot blocked there. Good play by Daxton Thomas. Here's Tillinghast. There's going to be another penalty coming up as the referee in the neutral zone had his hand up. So potentially a 5-on-3 opportunity for the Roadrunners, and it will be as Braxton Thomas, there's two of them. There's a Daxton and a Braxton on the Wyoming side. But at this time, Braxton Thomas. So with 1:19 early in the first period, the Roadrunners will have a 5-on-3 to operate with. Couple of good looks early on in this power play, and the Roadrunners would like to cash in on this advantage. Tillinghast gloves down the clearing attempt. Gets it over to Clift. Clift behind the net. Tipped, a backhanded shot. Rebound, they score! Braden Piper. And hold on here. I believe they're waving the goal off. They're going to say potentially that Piper kicked it in with the boot. And so no goal. So 1:05 left to operate on it, but that goal is disallowed. As the referees here say that Braden Piper kicked it in with his skate. Metro State thought they broke the ice early on, but still time to operate in this 5-on-3. Tillinghast gets it up to the point. Cliff to TJ McLeod with space. McLeod, a shot that's blocked and drilled the referee as it was going to the corner. Wyoming trying to clear the puck. 36 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Tillinghast from the blue line. Back to Cliff. Below the blue line. Excuse me. Back to Tillinghast. Calling for it. Out in front. Piper, a backhanded shot. And Erickson with the save. Piper had a full net open. Somehow Erickson, another shot. Tillinghast puts it in the corner. Erickson able to get that puck off the blue line. Still working here, and they score! Jackson Brandhorst in the slot gets the 1-goal lead, and this goal counts. Pretty passing from this Roadrunner power play. A couple of good chances. And eventually Brandhorst was able to get it by Erickson. It will now be his 8th goal of the year, Jackson Brandhorst. The Roadrunners, 4 minutes in the first period, able to get the one goal advantage, That does it for the 5-on-3, but the Roadrunners still with time to operate on their 5-on-4 on the minor from Braxton Thomas. Turnaround shot, shorthanded, and a great save, Loeffler. Wyoming trying to get his shorthanded opportunities. That shot coming from Bentley Sincox. Cross ice, Labulio. Another good pass, turnaround shot, and Erickson denies it with the pad. 22 seconds left on the 5-on-4. Waldorf, with a shot. He was looking to go top shelf, misses his mark. And Simcox pushing the pressure in. Almost shorthanded, but it kills some more time on this power play. 6 seconds left. And a good penalty kill by Simcox. And that will do it for the 5-on-4. So back to 5-on-5. Wyoming looking to counter after going down 1. So early, 2 penalties. They still haven't put up Brandhorst's goal on the now they did, just as I said it. Shots are 9-5. Metro State with 2 penalties to help their case, leading that category. But Wyoming, Donnellan keeping it in the zone. Tried to get to the Rodriguez. McLeod denies that, and McLeod will skate it to the neutral zone. On the tape for Tillinghast. Gets to the McLeod with speed, but the puck was a little bit too far from his reach. Turnover in the Cowboy zone. McLeod tried to get in front, and he gets it. Let's take his ricochet off the skate, but the Roadrunners keep it in the zone. Brandhorst out in front, a turnaround shot from McLeod blocked. Roadrunners doing a good job setting up the offensive zone. Had the power plays to help him, but now getting the cycle. Shot from the point, Tillinghast in front, wasn't able to get a tip. Love down by Donnellan. And he will send this up into the Roadrunner zone. No icing here. Nabulio will get this to McLeod, and he will tip this on. Metro State will get a full line change. In the neutral zone. Was looking for Rose. Cut off there by Evan Heck. Neutral zone confusion, and Braxton Thomas is going to push his puck. Was looking for Joe May, and it will come to the stick of May. In the zone, 2 Roadrunners on him. Get in the middle. Shot blocked, and the Roadrunners transition the other way with space. Cooper Peterson in on a breakaway. He tried the Kucherov move. Wasn't able to get it on net. If that would have went in, that would have been a goal for the ages. The May in the other way. Tripped Cale Hall down. No call there. Rose will try to tip this in. Campbell will take the loose puck. In the neutral zone, Simon Cox will send this on net. Loeffler will swing this around over for Piper. Clearing attempt going to be kept in by Millen. It gets there. Berg with a back in front. A turnaround shot saved by Loeffler, in the rebound. Set over the net. That was Wesley Amos with a prime opportunity. The rebound was right there. He sent it over and out of play. Last weekend, both of these teams participated in the Big Mountain Classic. It was a rough classic for most of the teams in the Big Mountain Hockey Conference. 3 of the teams with a 1-3 record. The only teams that skated away with 500 or above was CU and DU. We'll get to more of that in a little bit, as this face-off is kept in by the Cowboys. Amos will take this behind the net. 2 Roadrunners on him. Kept it in a backhanded shot, and Loeffler able to make an excellent save. Nolan Berg out in the slot with the backhand and put right in the breadbasket. So the assist for the Brandhorse goal go to TJ McLeod and Braden Piper with a secondary assist. Donnellan wins his faceoff. Left down by Waldorf. And a turnaround shot, and again Loeffler makes a save. That's a couple of turnovers early in this first period that have costed Metro State. Like I said at the beginning of the game, Patrick Loeffler getting the majority of the games played, and started off the season a little bit rough, but surely he's, in the last couple of games, has played fantastic for this Roadrunner side. Nabulio gets hemmed in the corner. Clearing attempt. Venice will shoot this into the corner. Tried to get on net, didn't. Kept in by Nate. He's swinging around the board. Donnellan will get intercepted the puck. Roadrunners counter. Try to clear it out. Will get as far as the neutral zone. Nabulio on the forecheck. But we're talking about for Metro State, a 1-3 record. I talked to the head coach, tipped here by TJ McLeod. Erickson had to be on his play for that, as TJ McLeod almost poked it by. The Roadrunners back to work. A shot from the point gets sent into the corner. This first line very dangerous so far for Brady Reynolds and company. Tipped into the neutral zone now. Moyabet. I talked to one of the Wyoming's players earlier today, and it's been a while, and Mayan, excuse me, had a step, but it's been a while since I've covered the Wyoming side, and a lot of new faces, new numbers, and I asked him, and told me that it was just a full jersey sale where a lot of these players got their new jerseys and finally had their new numbers. We've also seen some new jerseys out from Metro State side, rocking those lovely white, blue, and red, as Rodriguez, good move here, gets poke checked by Loeffler, but Mario Rodriguez put into some dangle moves in. Loeffler is able to deny him. For the Roadrunners, they have to be careful when Mario Rodriguez is on the ice. Wyoming has a two-headed monster in Rodriguez and Bullard, but I spoke with the head coach for Wyoming, and Ian Bullard not playing in today's game, and he injured himself in the East Texas Baptist game that Wyoming played. A slot from the point, and Erickson denies that with the pads. So Wyoming without Bullard as this shot gets sent up and out of play, and Cooper Pedersen got the brunt of that hit. So on January 16th, the Roadrunners played California. They got a 5-2 win, but after that, a tough of stretch games. They lost 2-1 to Northeastern University. They lost 5-2 against Grand Canyon, and they lost 5-2 against University of Massachusetts. And I had a chance to speak with Brady Reynolds at the beginning of the game, and he said that overall this season has just been a game of just who's healthy and who's out, and the Roadrunners been down a man for a lot of these games, and it's been a struggle staying healthy. But the Roadrunners playing well, better as of late, I would say. A tough stretch in the beginning of the season, and you would like the 500 records getting out of the Big Mountain Hockey Classic, but you got to play with what the cards have. So a tough season overall for the Roadrunners. But again, like I said, with a win today over Wyoming, a chance to lock up third place in the division and a trip to DU when the playoffs start. As Wyoming keeps in the zone, made from shot and rebound. And Thomas was there. Good defensive stick from the Roadrunners to clear that chance. I failed to mention there's a power play opportunity for Wyoming as Cooper Peterson, is in the box. So the first power play opportunity for Wyoming, a chance to equalize this game. Clearing attempt, gets as far as the blue line. Turnaround shot and a save here by Erickson. Bryce Margolis with a shorthanded opportunity and a collision behind the net. Play continues. Good stick there, Bryce Margolis to create that shorthanded opportunity. Nearly beat Erickson. So far in this power play, Wyoming having a difficult time setting up. A minute already gone. Donnellan gets around one man, skates it onside. Turnaround shot, and Loeffler covers it up. With that shot, Wyoming leads 12-11 on the shot department. On the other side, again, another difficult Big Mountain Classic for Wyoming. Only winning one of those games, and that was against East Texas Baptist when they won 4-2. But losses also coming to Grand Canyon and Providence College, who beat them 6-4. And the Dakota College, a 4-3 victory. A shot from the point, saved by Loeffler. And a turnover here could be a breakaway. Cliff, as the puck got a little bit too far from him on his horse, Rodriguez will cut him off from that puck. But good penalty kill from the Roadrunners, and again, another shorthand opportunity, and they score! Braden Piper from the blue line puts the Roadrunners up 2. I was just talking about the turnovers and Wyoming having a hard time skating out of their own zone, and Metro made them pay as Piper came in with a full head of steam and just beats Erickson low. So a shorthanded goal. The Roadrunners sitting with a 2-goal advantage. For head coach Kerry Heck and just the Wyoming side, it's always frustrating when you take shorthanded goals. And now a 2-hole hill for the Cowboys to climb. 13 seconds left on the power play. Donnellan out of the near circle. Backhanded shot, Loeffler makes another save. That was a good move by Christian Struber, able to get it to his forehand. Matthew Cliff is going to get credited with the assist. And it was Cliff that made the turnover in the defensive zone. Or excuse me, in the YO zone. He's able to drop a pass over for Piper, and he put all of that on his shot. McGrath turnaround shot blocked and to make it on net. Good positioning by Ethan Rose, and that will do it for the Wyoming Cowboy. So rather than help a shorthanded goal, is the result after the Cowboys versus power play goal. Excuse me, power play opportunity. There's only 3 games left for both of these teams before we get into the playoffs, and obviously we have today's game. And then for Wyoming, they'll go over to New Mexico on the 30th and 31st to play New Mexico, and then it's going to be a back-to-back games for Metro State this weekend against DU. Loeffler will cover this up and continue in play. Thomas forechecking there. Gorsuch. And Wyoming turned a shot here. Loeffler will dive on this. Seen a couple of turnovers in Metro State zone as well. The only difference is that Patrick Loeffler standing on his head early in this period. Carson Green, I get my stats from the ACH website. If I'm correct, or rather, it's Wesley Amos. Sometimes these angles that we're in, the jersey numbers hide, but Amos gets it over to Campbell. Out in front, had Simcox waiting for it, not able to get it on stick. Turnaround shot sent behind the net. And Berg almost cut that pass off. The Roadrunners clear it into the zone. Campbell will reach this, and I believe this will be icing on the Roadrunners, and it is. 7:35 left in the first period. The Roadrunners with a 2-goal advantage. A shorthanded goal from Braden Piper, and then a power play goal from Jackson Brainhorse is the difference so far in this period. Donelin wins this cleanly to Rodriguez, and a shot that Loeffler covered it up with his shoulder. Good save by Patrick. Got him high in the neck area. He was able to hold on and didn't give a rebound up. Face off, we'll do it again. Bo Donelin. His second year with the team. Had 30 total points in 24 games played last year for the Cowboys. Did Donelin. He wins the face-off. Sent up and around the board. Struber will cut this off in the corner. Backhanded for Rodriguez. A backhand shot. And Loeffler was able to cover up the post. Campbell to the direction of Struber. A backhanded pass that's got intercepted. Waldorf now from his own zone, tried to clear it out. Cross ice nicely for TJ McLeod with Tillinghast. Gets it to Tillinghast. Jackson switches places. Turnaround shot saved by Erickson. Rebound was pushed into the corner. McLeod now gets it to Waldorf. Shot from the point and tipped. Sent wide into the corner. Clearing attempt off of his own teammate's skates. Tillinghast tried to push it over to Labulio. And his pass he fanned off, and Rodriguez will clear this out right into the direction of Waldorf. The referees will call this offside, so Metro State will have to tag up. Rodriguez will lay a hit in the corner. About a 50-50 check. Labulio and Rodriguez taking equally the brunt. In the middle, Tillinghast, and a shot that never got on net. Thomas with speed through the zone. There's a turnaround shot, tough angle. Loeffler makes the first save, rebound in the corner. McLeod spins away from the check. Daxton Thomas. Keep it in the zone. Loses the puck. And Milliman will pinch the boards, but the Roadrunners will collect possession. Nate Frick to Rose. Out front, and Rose with a good chance there. Wasn't able to get a stick. Up to the point. Good play by Piper to keep that in. Struber will get this up. Berg was, I believe, going off for a change. 5:28 left in the first period. A 2-goal advantage for the Roadrunners. Simcox, stretch pass on the tape for Berg. Berg 1-on-2, gets to try to get around one. Good play by Piper again. Was looking for Brandhorst, a little bit too far from him. Brandhorst will get this loose puck. Off the boards now. Both teams trying to traverse the neutral zone. Amos drop pass to nobody. Thought he had some reinforcements there. Rose will swamp this over to the Wyoming bench. Metro State will get a partial change. Stretch pass again, was looking for Simcox, and this will be icing on the Cowboys. So for the visiting Cowboys, again, they're currently in third place of the division. They have a 10-16 record, but only 5-5 in the last 10 games. And it was a disappointing Big Mountain Classic. They had some technical difficulties on Friday, and Greeley lost power, so that game was postponed. As a shot here gets sent over Erickson's net. I believe that puck drop on Friday was at 9 p.m. Out front, a shot, a big save by Erickson. He denies Cliff at a prime scoring chance. Berg tries to get a shot on there. That was Jaden Tomlin wearing number 20 for the Roadrunners. Amos will dump this behind the net. Cowboys will get a line change. As Carson Kaminsky put in a forecheck there, and Bo Donnellan took a brunt of his forecheck. Cliff the other way. Matthew Cliff had out in front, no Roadrunner in the vicinity. Turnaround shot, Waldorf, and a save by Erickson. Shots tied 17. Truthfully, both sides with good chances in this period, but the difference is number 40 for the Roadrunners. A couple of good saves early on that power play chance and just throughout the first period. Waldorf off the face-off shot that never made it on net. In the corner. Heck will try to push it up to Struber. He would. Off the boards, kept in by Tillinghast. Tried to send it around the boards. Labulio will send this up high and around the boards. Nate Venice for the Cowboys, back checking. Roadrunners with possession. In the zone. Shot blocked in. A Roadrunner off the helmet of Erickson, off the shot from Tillinghast. Has some real estate to operate, but Tillinghast sends it off the bucket for Isaac Erickson. Sends it up and out of play. 3:13 left in our period. TJ McLeod in for the faceoff. And when they have been on the ice, this line of Tillinghast, McLeod, and Labulio have been very dangerous. Face-off controlled by the Roadrunners. Gets it over to McLeod. McLeod with a shot and another save by Erickson. No rebound. Braden Piper would have 2 goals in this period if the first one wasn't called back. Earlier, we'll flash back, it was the first power play opportunity that quickly turned it on a 5-on-3 that Piper had it, and refs claimed that he kicked it into the net, so they wiped that goal off, but moments later, Jackson Brandhorst would avenge his teammate, and he will score himself, and that put the Roadrunners up by 1. Roadrunners were offside, so the Wyoming will collect this loose puck. Stretch pass for Thomas. He got his stick on it, so no icing. Behind the net, Loeffler will stick this to the center of the Roadrunner zone. Transitioning, McLeod gets it up to Labulio, and they're going to call it offsides. Labulio was just the step ahead of McLeod. Face off in the neutral zone, won by the Roadrunners. Kaminsky got a stick on that pass. The Brandhorst, the 2 Cowboys on him. It's knocked to the ground, but good play by Brandhorst to keep it in. Tillinghast will swing this around the board. That's Peterson. Rose Trying to get that puck too. Cowboys able to escape the zone. Thomas over to May. Try to get around one. No, it's going to be offsides. Play continues. Behind the net, Erickson will fall on this one. I spoke with head coach Brady Reynolds before puck drop and trying to figure out what Sunday's game looked like. If you currently look on the ACHA website, it has the puck drop at Big Bear Ice Arena for 11 o'clock, but there's some uncertainty as it seems that some of the both DU and Metro State not being able to, DU not being able to get some ice at the university as a shot here gets sticked aside by Loeffler. Shot again by Venice, gets tipped behind the net. Cowboys looking the answer, down by 2. Out in front, Amos, and the Loeffler was able to cover it up. No whistle yet, and there is the whistle as both teams will exchange Snapchat handles after. So both teams, make sure you check their social media as to see what that game will be like on Sunday. I heard some rumors that there may be played on Monday if no teams can find ice. So again, please make sure you check the social media for each team to make sure that you are in the proper time and place for that game. Schubert off the shot. Venice, off the shot of the face-off. Roofs one behind Loeffler. Venice again in the neutral zone. We'll give it up to Berg. Turn around for Amos. Simecox will collect it. A shot and a save. They score! Loeffler made the first save. Trickled behind him. And Bentley Simcox puts the Cowboys within 1. So after that, Bentley Simcox puts his team within 1. It's going to be only his 3rd goal of the year. There was a little bit of a turnover in the neutral zone. There's a turnaround pass I was looking for. Amos found Simcox. So with 1:13 left in the period, Cowboys cut into the advantage for the Roadrunners by 1. Hey, we want to give a shout out to Jackson Tillinghast and TC. We had a fan in attendance come over, and so we just want to appreciate you for tuning in and watching the Roadrunners here on Metro State. But McLeod in, a shot and a save, rebound, they score! TC, your good luck as Jackson Tillinghast puts away the rebound. We hope you like that one. That was a 2-on-1 that quickly developed by TJ McLeod. And he gets it, put the shot on and the rebound. Jackson Tillinghast in the right time, in the right place. And we want to shout out all of you for tuning in today's game. So after giving up a goal, Jackson Tillinghast puts the Roadrunners back up by 2. Again, it was TJ McLeod who set up that play. As he makes the first shot, Erickson makes the initial save, and Jackson Tillinghast was in the right place at the right time. And that whistle here, there's going to be a Roadrunner player that's sitting in the box. So with 30 seconds left, the Cowboys will have some carryover penalty time, trying to see which Roadrunner's in the box. I believe that is the goal scorer, Tillinghast. So see if the Cowboys can cash in with just 30 seconds left. Still haven't put the power play on the board yet. So he just announced the goal. TJ McCloud with the primary assist, and what a period for Braden Piper. He gets his second point of the game. So after one, Metro State with a 3-1 advantage. We want to thank you all for tuning in. We'll come back for a brief first intermission report. Until then, you're watching Metro State Hockey here on Price Productions and the Metro State YouTube channel. We will step aside. Welcome back to the Promenade Ice Center here in Denver, Colorado. After a thrilling first period and a 3-1 advantage for the Roadrunners, we'll take it back and show you how it happened. It was a power play that happened first early in the period, and it was a Braden Piper goal that got called off due to him, the ref saying that he kicked it into the net. But moments afterward, Jackson Brandhorst would come up and score a goal of his own and give the Roadrunners their 1-goal advantage. But after that, it would be Braden Piper that get his shorthanded goal while the Cowboys were up a man, and it came in on the blue line and absolutely just whistled one past Erickson and gave the Roadrunners a 2-1 advantage. Towards the end of the period, the Cowboys would counter on a goal of their own. Bentley Simcox, with his 3rd goal of the year, beats Loeffler, a puck that trickled past him. But in the end, with a couple of minutes left in the period, Jackson Tillinghast giving the Roadrunners a 2-goal advantage as a 2-on-1 that was created by TJ McLeod. The first shot was saved, but Tillinghast in the right area. So after one, that's where we stand. And again, to remind you for what this game has in store, the winner of this game will lock themselves in 3rd place of the division and guarantee themselves a trip to DU when the playoffs start. The 4th place team will welcome CSU, who is in last place of the division. So Metro State could either play DU in the playoffs or they could play CSU, and vice versa for Wyoming. I mentioned during the broadcast that both of these teams had a really difficult Big Mountain Classic, as both teams had a 1-3 record. But for Brady Reynolds and the Roadrunners side, this is exactly how you need to come out in this game and assert your dominance early on and not allow this Wyoming team, who has the ability to score quickly in these games, the chance to come back. When we do come back, Wyoming will have 1:30 left on the power play. Jackson Tillinghast is the one that's currently sitting in the penalty for that. So work to do for the Roadrunners penalty kill. I forgot to introduce, I am Sean Rosenberger stepping in for Drew today. Drew will be back and potentially he can call the game on Sunday. Like I mentioned, there's still uncertainty on whether that game will be played on Sunday or Monday, depending on how the ice situation works. Again, keep in touch with your social media as a way to see where that game time is, and we'll have that on our social media as well. So I will step aside. First intermission currently going on. Shots are tied 20-20, but the score is 3-1. Sean Rosenberg on the call. Again, it's a pleasure. We will step aside and be back for the second period. Welcome back to the Promenade here in Denver, Colorado. Second period just moments away as both teams make their ways out from the locker room. 3-1 advantage for the Roadrunners, but an opportunity for the Cowboys to cut into the deficit. 1:30 left on the power play. Jackson Tillinghast will start the second period in the sin bin for the Roadrunners. If you missed the beginning of the game, we had a special guest in attendance for the Roadrunners. The president of the university, President Davidson, was on the ice and did the ceremonial puck drop. TJ McLeod was out there to receive that puck, and so we're happy to have President Davidson here in attendance watching this hockey game. And really the story of the first period, both teams registering 20 shots on net, and you could say that the Roadrunners probably had more of the high danger opportunities compared to the Cowboys. And Patrick Loeffler, a phenomenal first period. He would love to have the goal that he gave up back in the first period. He made the save, but it trickled through his armpit into the net. So Bentley Simcox will say thank you for that. As this period is underway, Cowboys will collect the puck and still operate on this power play. Mario Rodriguez dishes the puck off to Donnellan. Skates it in, turnaround shot, sent it wide. I don't know if Loeffler got a piece of that. Roadrunners already with a shorthanded goal today, looking to counter. Margolis killing some more time off this power play. Will push himself up to the boards. The puck will eventually come free, almost to Margolis, and then Erickson will have to cover this up. Got a whistle there. Kind of a lucky play for the Cowboys. If he didn't, Margolis was right there to strip that puck away. 57 seconds left on the power play for the Cowboys. They went 0 for 1 in the first period and gave up a shorthanded goal. Rodriguez will receive this, take it behind the net, switches places with Donnellan. And through the neutral zone, loses the puck and sent all the way down. That was Siegel with the intercept. Cowboys will try again. Rodriguez will dump this up and around the boards, waiting for it. Amos now with it. Gets it behind the net, was looking for Rodriguez. Clearing attempt blocked by Venice. Over to Rodriguez, behind the net. Backhanded shot, Loeffler makes the save. That was Amos with that attempt, and it's puck splits the D. So more time off this power play, only 15 seconds left. A good job so far in this game by the Metro State penalty killers, not letting the Cowboys set anything up. And traditionally, carryover penalties not statistically never really successful. And that will do it. Jackson Tillinghast back on the ice. We're 5 of 5. As Thomas will send a shot that will get on Loeffler, out of play. Roadrunners doing what they needed to do to start the second period, and now imagine that Brady Reynolds and company would like to pin their ears back and just pad this lead that they have for themselves. Joe May will step in the face-off against Tillinghast. Stripped away by Thomas. Both Thomas brothers are out. Braxton and Daxton. Turnaround shot sent wide. Up and around the boards. May fighting for it. Gets stripped away by Tillinghast. Tillinghast through the neutral zone. Puts it up to McLeod. McLeod gets it to the Blulio. The Blulio, a shot! Sends it over the net. Roadrunners going to work. This top line out. In a collision in front of the net. I might have thought that could have been an interference call. Play continues though. The Roadrunners looking to clear their own zone. Cowboys, McGrath tries to keep it in. Does. Patrick in. McGrath with a good move. A backhanded shot. Loeffler makes the save. Patrick McGrath did everything right except for getting that shot on a place where Loeffler would have a hard time getting it. Didn't get a lot on that backhand shot, did McGrath. Send it the other way. Gorsuch was looking for Tillinghast. Some miscommunication between Gorsuch and Tillinghast. Berg now tried to flip this up, was looking for Simcox, and Loeffler will cover this up with the glove. We will have both of the DU games, for Metro State for tomorrow and Sunday. You can catch that on Price Productions on Saturday. And then on Monday, we should. A turnaround shear by Loeffler makes a save in the glove. Simcox was looking for his second goal. The game is not set in stone for Monday. The hope is to play on Sunday. However, both teams trying to figure out their ice situation. Amos in for the faceoff for the Cowboys. Tied up. Finally will come loose for Berg. A turnaround. He's looking to get it out in front of the net. There's a couple road runners that blocked the puck there. Heck with a tip. Turnaround shot for Berg. He wasn't able to get the puck in his possession. Road runners over to Cliff. Cliff trying to get around Heck. Stop under the corner and send this around. Waiting for it. It's Brandhorst. Will stop this puck. Get behind the net. Good stick there by Campbell. Able to strip that puck away, and the Cowboys look to transition the other way. Amos on his horse. Will cut this puck off in the corner. Piper try to clear it. Berg will intercept. Gets it up to the blue line. Campbell surveying the blue line. Shot from the point. They score! I believe this is going to be Campbell's goal. That puck had eyes. And it beats Loeffler cleanly. And again, the Cowboys cut into this Roadrunners lead. That's going to be Campbell's first goal of the year. So just 4 minutes gone in the second period. The Cowboys not going away. Make it a 3-2 game. As for Campbell, it's his third year with the team. He played in Fort Collins. He was born in Loveland. He was born in Loveland. He played from 2019 to 2023 before going to Wyoming. So back in his home state, Campbell gets the Cowboys within one. This puck will trickle into the Roadrunner zone. Waldorf will take it to the safety of his net, but Struber with a forechecking there. Donnellan also pushing the issue. Brandhorst. Good move in the neutral zone to get around one. Drops it off for Rose. Trying to get it to the center ice. Got intercepted by Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets stripped of the puck, and Rose will send this all the way back down. Donnellan and Brandhorst. Roadrunners keep it in the Cowboy zone. Shot here, sent behind the net. Another shot blocked and looking the other way. Rodriguez with speed, Mario in. And a good back check there, but there is going to be a penalty. That was Waldorf that was on his horse. He pulls down Rodriguez, so there is going to be a power play coming up for the Cowboys. Mario Rodriguez can hurt you with his speed, and credit to Waldorf. He closed the pursuit angle really well there. It's showing his speed on his own. Fortunately, he gets caught up in Rodriguez, and they both tumble. And so they rule this as a penalty shot. So the leading point scorer for the Cowboys with a penalty. Penalty shot, Rodriguez. And alone, a shot here and a save by Loeffler. A chance for Mario to tie it up, but a good save by Patrick. So he was awarded the penalty shot, a chance to tie the game up, but maybe a little bit too many moves, and Loeffler was able to track it the entire way. So the game remains 3-2. Cowboys in the Roadrunner zone. Again, just Patrick Loeffler. I guess you could make a case that he would want both of those goals back. Trey Campbell's shot was a blue line seeing eye puck. Thomas with a good move. 1 and 2, gets it back to his backhand. Spins, gets it to the point. Shot on. Was looking for the tip. That was a shot from Newell. Wasn't able to get it on goal. Back to Newell, cross ice. In the direction of McGrath. McGrath will push it for Joe May. Braxton and Daxton, say that 10 times fast, in the Ram zone, excuse me, not the Rams. We're not in Fort Collins, people. Roadrunners exit their zone. Margolis, 2-on-2 the other way. Stripped of the puck. The good stick by McGrath. The stretch pass for May, a little bit too far from him, so Loeffler will cover up. Metro State hold on and win this game. You will look back at the save on the shootout attempt for Rodriguez as a key component why. Amos wins this face-off, but it gets a little bit too far from Campbell. Campbell with McLeod on him. Feels the pressure, gets it up, kept in by the Roadrunners. Heck off the boards. A little bit too far, and this will be icing on the Cowboys. 13:53 left in the second period. Trey Campbell with the blue line shot that pulls the Cowboys in by 1. It's the only goal so far in the second period. McLeod into the faceoff against Amos. Tied up. Roadrunners keep it in. Shot from the point, tipped behind the net. I think Erickson got a piece of that. Simcox races through the zone. Takes it below the low circle. Simcox in a move and a shot that gets trickled away from him. Good stick there by either Braden Piper or Cale Hall to deny that shot from Simcox. Heck off the boards and in center ice was looking for Amos, but it's on the stick of Piper. Piper tried to dish it in the slot. Gets blocked in the corner. Piper again will send it into the the near corner. Forechecking for the Roadrunners, working on this shift. The Bulio drops it for Tillinghast. Tillinghast gets a hand around his shoulder, no call. Amos trying to fish his puck. Roadrunners doing a good job. The board battles. Tillinghast pushes it up for Hall. Looking for the tip, he got it. Good save by McGrath. TJ McLeod got a stick on that too. Out of his net, Loeffler will play this behind his net for Hall. Stretch pass. I don't believe that any Roadrunner touched this puck, but I guess they did. Play continues. In the neutral zone, Kaminsky shoots it in the Roadrunner's end. Donnellan forechecking. Kaminsky also as well. Roadrunners through the neutral zone now. Waldorf will avoid a collision in the neutral zone as the Roadrunners will send this back into the corner. Venice shoots this up and around, and Patrick Loeffler comes out of his net. He loves playing the puck, does Patrick. Up to Millimon, serving the blue point, drops it off to Donald, gets a shot that gets blocked before it gets on the cage. Preston Tafoya, backhanded, was looking for Matthew Clift, a little bit too far from him, but the Cowboys will ice this puck. So face-off coming up for the Roadrunners in the Cowboy zone. I want to thank all 23 of you guys for tuning in today. Cowboys had a 2-hour drive. I'm glad they made it safely. Colorado experiencing some snow for the first time in quite a while. Definitely know that the Fort Collins and Greeley area got some. Not so much in the Denver area, however, or any of the snow that we did get already got melted away by the afternoon. Roadrunners are offside, so Venice will collect this puck in his own zone. Give it back to Venice. Send this up for Kaminsky. He'll tip it on. 2 Cowboys chasing him. Thomas was unable to strip the puck away. The Roadrunners will play this off the boards a little bit too far from the reach of Tillinghast. A foot race, and Erickson will cover this up before Tillinghast. About 10 minutes gone in the second period. 1 goal from for the Cowboys, looking to tie this game up. They had an opportunity from Mario Rodriguez, but Patrick Loeffler denies him on the shootout opportunity. Hall will push this over for Brandhorst, drops it off for Tillinghast. Below the circle, and this puck will hop off. Newell pins Brandhorst. Piper will tip this into the corner. Thomas from his own zone feels the pressure from Tillinghast. Newell pins his man there, but the Roadrunners doing a good job keeping it in the zone. Until I said that, Hall will collect it, send it back the other way, only gets as far as Newell at the top of the left circle. McGrath, clearing attempt, kept in by Rose. Brandhorst. Couple of seconds have gone by, and the Cowboys having a hard time getting out of their own zone. See if the Roadrunners can capitalize. Below the net in the corner. Out in front, Brandhorst looking for a shot, and Erickson, they are celebrated like it went in. No goal, though, from the backhanded shot from Brandhorst, and Joe May having a conversation after that shot. Multiple Roadrunners players had their hands up in the air like they scored, but quickly the ref called it off. So still remains a 3-2 game. McGrath and May will head off for the Cowboys. Struber in for the faceoff. No, Donnellan, Gets Margolis. Cowboys win this cleanly. Campbell will send this up looking for Rodriguez. Gets to Rodriguez with a man out in front. He had Struber, but he had a hard time collecting the puck. Rodriguez. Turnaround shot saved by Loeffler. Rather than Struber. Struber gets a collision in the corner. 2-on-2 the other way. Siegel on the forward check. The puck got away from him, so Donnellan will collect this off the boards to the stick of Christian Struber. 1-on-4. Takes it to the Wyoming bench, and then he fans on the pass. The Cowboys will have to touch up. So after the Campbell goal, the pace of both teams having a difficult time setting up any offensive possession. Turnover, turnaround shot, rebound, they score! We'll see which Roadrunner. It was a harmless shot from the low circle. The rebound came out. Erickson had no clue where that is, and that's Bryce Margolis with his second goal of the season. Gives the Roadrunners their 2-goal advantage. For a while there, both teams weren't able to set anything up, and then a harmless shot from the point from Siegel, and in the right place, the right time, Margolis was crashing in the slot, able to home the rebound. So 9-11 in the second period, the Roadrunners answer with a goal for themselves and reclaim their 2-goal advantage. For Bryce this season, he's played 25 games, and he's, till this point, only had 1 goal and 1 assist. I could be wrong, though. Still on the ACH website, there was 2 games that hadn't been officially scored from the Big Mountain Classic, so if Margolis scored in those games, I'm not quite aware. So chirp me in the comments if he scored more than 2 goals this season. So Nate Fricke is going to get the secondary assist, and Justin Siegel is going to get the primary off of his shot that was almost on the top of the trapezoid. The rebound came right in the right spot for Margolis. So after both times that the Cowboys have scored a goal here, Tillinghast would speak, it's stripped of the puck by Venice. But both times that the Cowboys have scored to cut into this deficit, the Roadrunners come right back and score a goal of their own. McLeod will send this up for Hall. We'll get it back to McLeod. Turnaround shot, and it was a no-looker from TJ McLeod. It was looking to dish it off to Piper, decided to take the shot there. Erickson with the save. It was Wyoming that was leading the shot category. Now Metro takes them by 3. 30-27 are shots on goal in favor of the Roadrunners. Off the face-off, from the point, shot that. They score! A seeing eye puck from Colton Gorsuch. Beats Erickson cleanly, and now the Roadrunners are skating away with a 3-goal advantage. Right off the face-off, and Colton Gorsuch scores his first goal of the season. So the bench keeps that puck for his teammate. It's an absolute snipe from the blue line nearly. Beats Erickson top shelf and cleanly. So congrats to Colton Gorsuch on his first ACHA goal. Made though, brings it in. Cross ice pass, rebound was there for Daxton Thomas, wasn't able to put it home. So now the biggest deficit that the Cowboys have faced keeps increasing as the Roadrunners add to their goal total. A shot from the near circle gets covered by Loeffler. So first line out for the Cowboys, Donnellan will step in, and if you missed it in the intermission, Ian Bullard is not playing for the Cowboys, and that's a huge hit for this Cowboy side. The Mario Rodriguez is tied for first for points, and it was to that man, Ian Bullard. So a huge goal scoring threat out of the game today for the Cowboys. Turnaround shot here, gloved by Loeffler. They'll hold on. 6:42 left in the second period. 2 goals added by the home side here. Metro State starting to skate away with this one a little bit. So Tillinghast will get another point for this game. He'll get the secondary assist, and Labulio will get another point as well on Gorsuch's goal. A quick developing 2-on-1. Piper out in front. Excuse me. That was Pedersen with the backhanded pass to the slot. Pedersen again will try to fish it around. Venice will put it over for Donnellan. Up and out of play has Struber, not able to hold on to the puck in the neutral zone. So Tafoya will get the loose puck. Waldorf in his own zone, gets stripped away, turnover. Up to Heck. Plays pitch and catch, was looking for Rodriguez, sends it behind the net. Struber pushes it up to the point. Venice keeps it in. Shot from the point, tip, rebound, and Loeffler covers up with the glove. Had a man right in his doorstep, was able to cover it up in time. Both sides will get a full cell line change as Margolis comes back on the ice, as well as Piper, Fricky as well, and Siegel for the defensive zone faceoff. Amos will step in for the Cowboys, tied up, controlled by Piper, backhanded just as far, and a good pass. Margolis, a 2-on-1 the other way, has Siegel to his right. Margolis backhanded pass a little bit behind Siegel. The right idea, just bad placement by Margolis on that pass. Piper from the point, shot saved by Erickson, pushed it in the corner. Siegel gets bumped away. McGrath will collect the loose puck, clearing attempt, cut off by Piper. Trying to put that puck in the path of Nate Fricky. McGrath over for Heck. Backhanded, was looking for Berg a little bit too far from him, so he'll have to slow up before he sends it into the Roadrunner zone. 5 minutes left in the second period. Piper transversing through the neutral zone. Piper with speed. Margolis is tapping on his stick. A shot sent over. Backhanded shot gets blocked out into the slot. Simcox with Joe May. Simcox drops places, was looking for Berg, and a good stick there by Nate Fricky. Erickson will hold on to this as Matthew Cliff will make his presence felt. An offensive faceoff coming up for the Roadrunners. Braxton Brandhorst has a goal tonight. Will step in for the face-off. Cliff to his left. A shot here that gets sent in the corner. Brandhorst gets a bit of Cliff. A backhanded pass that goes through the crease of Erickson. Clearing attempt on the tape of Thomas. Gets it to his brother. May on it. Try to get around one. Loses possession of the puck and it will come out to the neutral zone. Braxton Thomas gets it over to Campbell. Heck was looking for Rodriguez, and May didn't get a stick on that, so it's going to be icing on the Cowboys. And for those of you at home, a couple of program notes I failed to mention at the beginning. Mason Labuglio wearing number 71, Colton Gorsuch wearing number 11, Braden Piper wears 34 in the other jersey set, wearing 4 today. Henry Waldorf wearing 91, and then wearing number 20 is Jaden Tomlin. So just a couple of notes for the program for those who are at home. Good steal here by the Roadrunners. Out in front was looking for Cliff, a little bit too far from him. Cliff in the corner was looking for Jensen. We'll get back to Cliff. A turnaround shot. Misses the mark. Heck. Looking for Thomas. Thomas able to strip it away, but turns it over to Cliff. And Cliff will take a big hit from Heck. Joe May transition the other way. Good move by May out in front. A turnaround shot and a save by Loeffler, but there will be a penalty coming up on the Roadrunners. What a nifty move from the second-year man, Joe May. Also, he was from Brush, Colorado. Has 8 goals and 8 assists this year, does May. But another power play opportunity as Preston Tafoya will sit in the sin bin. If you're the Cowboys, scoring on this power play is an absolute must. 5-on-5, the Roadrunners have been the better team. Donalyn Amos and Struber, the forwards out for Coach Kerry Heck. Shot from the point, tip, rebound, not given up by Loeffler. Covers up the first shot. You have the forward, Mario Rodriguez, playing the blue line, and Nate Venice out there too. So only one defenseman out for this Cowboys power play. Struber able to get it up for Rodriguez from the blue line. Turnaround shot, didn't make it on, and the Roadrunners look to counter. Siegel will get it around one, put it in the corner. Siegel still with possession behind the net. Slows it up, has a man, Piper. He short-scored handed already, and a shot that was saved by Erickson. He was looking for his second short-handed tally, was Braden Piper. Well, not a bad-looking shot either. Erickson just got it with the tip of the glove. So minute, 30 seconds gone from this power play opportunity, and another short-handed try for the Roadrunners and company. Face-off in the neutral zone. Tillinghast will cut off this puck. Excuse me, that's Cooper Peterson. Thomas, neutral zone, gets it to his brother, Braxton. Drop pass, save, rebound, gets pushed up to the boards. First to it was the Roadrunners. They clear this out into the neutral zone. Look out, Pedersen, able to get this puck. Pedersen again, a shot and a save by Erickson. It trickled behind him. It's still there. And finally a whistle there. Erickson had no idea where the puck was. A good opportunity there from Cooper Pedersen. So again, another short-handed opportunity created from the Roadrunner zone, and it was just the speed of Pedersen that created this. He was able to beat the Wyoming's defenseman to that puck. Face off, rolled by the runners. Matthew Cliff, their shot, no goal, they wave it off, it went crossbar down. Oh, Matthew Cliff was that close. Scoring his 8th goal of the year. The shorthanded opportunities are coming for bunches, and a shot here and a save by Loeffler on the other end. Matthew Cliff had Erickson beat all the way, couldn't beat the crossbar. That was beautiful again. Cliff again with a nifty move, a shot and another save by Erickson. Matthew Cliff putting on a one-man penalty kill clinic. And Erickson slams his stick down in frustration. He knows that he was that close for letting up another shorthanded goal. And like I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, no Jesse Easterwood for the Cowboys. I didn't get a chance to ask the head coach why that is. Easterwood's played the brunt of the games. He has 14 played, but we go with Isaac Erickson tonight for the Cowboys. Face off, Tillinghast, a shot and another pad save by Erickson. 22 seconds left on the power play. You might have forgotten that Cowboys were on the power play because most of it was spent in the in the Cowboy zone. Loeffler, this clearing attempt goes off the ref. Rodriguez gets it up to Amos. Amos will give it back to Rodriguez. Switches plays is Donnellan, fishing for the puck. Pedersen on him, and that will do it for the Roadrunners power play. TJ McLeod will get on his horse, and they're going to call this icing, and Nate Venice wins the puck race. TJ McLeod doesn't like that. So face-off coming back to the Roadrunner zone. And that power play opportunity, quite frankly, for the Cowboys was almost much a hindrance than a help, as most of the opportunities came to the shorthanded Roadrunners, almost capitalized on one of them. McLeod will step in on the face-off against May. McLeod ties it up. That's Labulio. Send this into the neutral zone. Millimon. Cross-ice pass on the tape of Thomas. Over to Campbell. Takes it below the circle. Campbell. Two Roadrunners converging on him, and he can't hold on to that puck. Tillinghast now. Give it up to McLeod. McLeod fans on his attempt. Millimon shoots it over for May. Turnover out front, and McLeod almost had a chance there as the Cowboys ice this puck. So 56 seconds left in the second period. Face-off coming up in the Cowboy zone for the Roadrunners. Brandhorst will step in against May. May will win this back to Millimon, sends it around the boards, up to Braxton Thomas. Can't hold on to this puck, so the Roadrunners keep it in. Rose takes the hit, gets it around for Pedersen. 46 seconds left in the first period. Brandhorst sends it around the boards, didn't get enough on that, so Campbell able to intercept. But Brandhorst doing a good job on the forecheck. Cowboys can't get it out of their own zone. Over to Thomas, sent behind the net. No Cowboy was there. So again, Wyoming having a difficult time getting up to the zone. They finally do. Thomas tried to get it around. Waldorf, good stick by Waldorf to deny Braxton Thomas on the zone entry. Rose off the glass up into the neutral zone. Venice will collect this. Give it to Millimon. 6 seconds left. A little bit too far from May. That's an unfortunate pass there because May had a little bit of open ice. But 3 seconds left, a face-off coming up in the Wyoming zone. And that will take us to the end of the second period. Margolis will step in for this face-off against May. See if the Roadrunners can get a last-second shot off of this. Seen a couple of that design play today. And off the face-off, Margolis tried the move to get a shot off, but that will do it for the second period. So after 40 minutes played, the Roadrunners with a 5-2 advantage. We'll step aside for a short moment. You're watching Metro State Hockey here on Price Productions and the Metro State YouTube channel. Welcome back to the Promenade Ice Center, and second intermission after two. Metro State with a 5-2 lead. We'll show you how the period happened. Going into the first, it was a 3-1 goal advantage for Metro State starting the second period, but it was Trey Campbell with his first goal of the year that brought the Cowboys in within one. Then after that, it was all Metro State as Bryce Margolis got the fourth goal of the game, scoring what would be his second goal of the year. And then Colton Gorsuch off the faceoff, a beautiful shot from the point, got his first goal of the year, making it 5-2. So after 40 minutes of play, that's where we stand. And we got to give a look at the goaltenders. Patrick Loeffler had an outstanding showing in the second period. And after the Cowboys, quite frankly, scored after the Trey Campbell goal, Mario Rodriguez was gifted with a penalty shot. And Patrick Loeffler comes up big and denies that. It could have made the game 3-3, but Loeffler does his job, and the Roadrunners do theirs, and they take a 3-goal advantage going into the third frame. Shots on goal right now are 35-34, Metro State with the advantage. And for the power plays, it's been a nightmarish for Wyoming as they gave up a short-handed goal in the first period to Braden Piper. And on their previous goal power play attempt, it was all Metro State chances on their own end, and a shot from Matthew Cliff that hit crossbar but stayed out as the official that was near the net waving his arms. So it could have been 6-2 going into the third. Going into the third, but that's where we are. And we'll go into the third period all even up in the 5-on-5, so no carryover penalties for either team. And we'll see if the Roadrunners can hold on to this 3-goal advantage. They can't fall asleep behind the wheel. This Wyoming team can score, and they got to be careful and disciplined and stay out of the box going into the third period. We'll step aside, the Zamboni doing its job, and we'll come back for the third period just a couple moments away. You're watching Metro State Hockey here on Price Productions and the Metro State YouTube channel. Third period almost underway here at the Promenade. I want to give a correction back to the first period. It was not Jackson Brandhorst that scored the first goal. It was rather Zach Jensen who scored the first goal, so he will bump his goal total to 8. I want to shout out Joseph Tafoya in the chat for noticing that. I appreciate. So Zach Jensen opened up the scoring for Metro State. And exciting third period underway, and here's what at stake for this third period. If Metro State can hold on to this lead, they will guarantee a trip to DU for the first game of the playoffs, whereas Wyoming will have to either come down to the Greeley Ice House or the Epic Ice Center in Fort Collins to play their playoff game due to conflicts with getting getting ice in Wyoming. If Wyoming comes back and wins this game, they would be the ones that would be going to DU, while Metro State will host CSU for that first playoff matchup. 20 minutes left to play. And like I said in the intervention, Metro State just needs to play sound, disciplined hockey, stay out of the box, and don't let these top goal scorers for the Wyoming to pick apart your defense. We've seen some of the speed plays created by Joe May and Mario Rodriguez kind of be a thorn in the side of Metro State, but Patrick Loeffler doing a good job backing his team and not leaving any rebounds. On the other end, Isaac Erickson, kind of a frustrating day for him. It's only his 9th start of the season. As the puck is down for the third period, let's see what the next 20 minutes have in store. As Waldorf will put this up to TJ McLeod in his own quarter. Daxon Thomas will push the issue on the forecheck. Braxton there as well. A good pass on the stick for TJ McLeod. 2-on-2 with Tillinghast. McLeod to Tillinghast, slap shot, and a rebound was there. Tillinghast will one-hand this on net. Roadrunners looking to keep it in the zone. Labulio took a tumble as he was trying to swing that puck around the boards. Wyoming now try to get it up to Thomas, a little bit too far from his reach, and Wyoming will get a full line change. Intercepted in the neutral zone. Campbell will swing this around. Loeffler will come out of his net to play it. McLeod try to backhand the pass out into the neutral zone. Struber will pin his man to the board, and the Cowboys try to push the forward check. Cowboys need to crawl back into this game. They cut the deficit down to 2, but the Roadrunners as quickly took it back. McGrath over to Rodriguez, tipped it. Donelin will get on his horse. Loeffler again will come out and play this puck. Over to Cliff. He will tip it as far as the red line. Rodriguez off the boards, behind the net. Again, the Cowboys having a hard time early on in this period setting up anything in the Roadrunner zone. Milliman shot here and a riser that Loeffler able to cover up in the breadbasket. Rodriguez, Struber, and Donelin will come out. So second line for the Cowboys. Amos will come in for the face-off with Simcox and Berg to his left. Face-off controlled by the Cowboys. Milliman will take a shot that gets off the boot of Nate Fricke. Cliff with a 2-on-1 developing, has Jensen to his left, gets it over to Jensen, but he's not able to get the shot off. The 29 and the 28 of Zach Brandhorst and Jensen look eerie similar, as that was Brandhorst that was on the left. Roadrunners getting the forecheck on. Brandhorst trying to kick it up to Cliff. Tomlin now will accept this puck, take it behind the net. Jaden Tomlin wearing number 20 for the Roadrunner. Turnaround shot gloved by Erickson. Roadrunners will get a change now. Horse with Pedersen and Rose to his left. Hall and Piper the D-men. Stripped away, good play by Pedersen. Wrap around, wasn't able to get it on net. Good stick by Heck. In the neutral zone on the stick of Piper. Will transition the other way. Shot from the point, glove save by Erickson. Braden Piper, what a game he's had so far in this game. Has 1 goal and 1 assist so far. A shorthanded goal in the first period. Face-off tied up. Venice will collect this. Send it up for Thomas. Gets it over to May. And Daxton Thomas will stop up, put it behind the corner. To Heck. Send it around the boards. Thomas. Going to get it around the net. Will trickle over to Venice. Try to get it back to Thomas. The Roadrunners exit the zone. Trying to split the D. Pedersen wasn't able to get a shot out. Drops it off for Brandhorst. A shot. He scores. That is Jackson Brandhorst. Number 28 that gets the goal. Makes it 6-2. As a good play to stick with that by Cooper Pedersen. Drops the puck off. Brandhorst receives it. And I was curious to see if they would call off the goal just because one of the Roadrunners collided into the net. But no, the goal stands, and so now the Roadrunners with a 4-goal advantage. And that might be the one that does it. Even larger heel decline for the Cowboys. Milliman feeling the pressure in his zone. Siegel able to stay with the play. Siegel doing a good job there until Struber strips him of the puck to Rodriguez. As far the near circle, takes it behind the net. Struber will collect the loose puck. Over to Donnellan with space, a shot and a good save by Loeffler. Struber now. Campbell pinching in from the point, trying to keep it in, loses that momentarily. Will come back to Campbell. The Roadrunners trying to exit out of the zone. Pass a little bit too far from the reach of Fricky. And the Roadrunners ice the puck. Just credit to the Roadrunners forwards having chances to bury the puck and doing so. We've seen a couple of games early in the Roadrunner season where guys were getting open and guys were having shots, but missed shots and it's not putting the puck on the net. Fricky will races off the face-off Venice. So on the PA, so Erickson day is over. Oren a shot here, and the first shot he faced is going to be a Mason Labulio goal. New goaltender, doesn't matter. Mason Labulio buries it. And now it's 7-2 for the Roadrunners. A nifty move by Labulio to get himself in the slot. Beats Oren on the short side. So again, Isaac Erickson day is over. Tyler Oren will step in for the Cowboys. Oren's only played 7 games, has a 1-4-1 record. And on the first shot that he faced will be a goal against. Good move by Simcox. Wasn't able to get a shot there. Shot Milliman gets blocked again. Good play by Gorsuch, and he felt that. Tillinghast will drop it off for Labulio. Tried to get it over to TJ McLeod. Dumping around the net. McLeod on the forecheck, keeps it in momentarily. Two Cowboys in the vicinity. Amos able to fish this puck away. Behind the net. And Milliman push it up to Simcox. Feeling pressure there, but Tomlin. And right now the Cowboys can't get out of their zone again. Drop pass to there, and Tillinghast wasn't able to get any wood on that shot. Stretch pass was looking for Thomas, and it was off the mark by a mile. So icing on the Cowboys. So rather than Labulio's goal, it's going to be the second goal of the game for Bryce Margolis. So they credited him with that. So twice is nice for Bryce Margolis. The shot from the point, Oren will make the glove save and cover it up. But this all but guaranteed that Metro State will meet DU in the playoffs. Still got 2 games before that. As a reminder, it'll be 3 games in a row now that Metro State will have to play DU. 2 more regular season games tomorrow and Sunday. And then after that, playoffs time, they'll play the Pioneers for the 3rd time in a row. And that might be seen as an advantage for both of those teams. Almost kind of like their own little playoff mini-series, you could say. Cliff gets over to Piper. On the stick of Jensen. Jensen with the shot from the point. Rebound will be covered up by Oren. With 13:56 left in the third period. Donnell in on the faceoff against Jensen, tied up momentarily. Struber will shoulder his man aside, get the puck to Venice. Venice will push it up to Rodriguez. Intercepted at the neutral point, but he gets intercepted by Struber. In with space, a shot sent wide. Struber again behind the net. Gets to the Rodriguez, a shot! And that takes a deflection off of somebody in front of the net, out of play. For the next 3 games for Wyoming, again for January 30 to 31st, they'll go to New Mexico and play their final 2 regular season games before coming back home, either playing in Epic Ice Center in Fort Collins or the Greeley Ice House, depending on where they can find ice. Then it's the shot that gets blocked. Good play there by Pedersen. Gorsuch on that play. Gets it out to the neutral zone. Venice will, again, try to clear it out. Almost gets turned over into the Cowboy zone. Struber off the boards. Wasn't quite what he wanted to do. Rodriguez will take this and dump it and go off for a line change. Gorsuch in the corner. Shoulders a hit. Gets it up to Pedersen. Pedersen will try to get this over for Brandhorst, but Ethan Rose was a touch offsides. If we look back at the schedule, the games that were played against DU so far for the Roadrunners, they've only played 1 time, and that game came back on Friday, October 24th, in a game that DU won by a final score of 4-1. As Loeffler will cover this puck off. So far, advantage DU. They'll play their 3 games. Each team in the conference plays each other a total of 3 times, and those will become, the final 2 will be coming in the final 2 games of the regular season. So tomorrow for the Roadrunners, a chance at home cooking and a chance to even up the season series against the Pioneers. That game will be played here at the Promenade. Siegel. Backhand pass, it's a Piper. Gets it over to Hall. Tried to get in the middle, had Siegel there, wasn't able to get a shot away. Piper, good keep in. Fricky on his horse now into the corner. Takes the body by Newell, and McGrath will collect the loose puck. Stretch pass has Berg on his stick a little bit. Nolan Berg in with a shot, and a good stick there by Piper, denies that shot. As Simecox with a shot from a tough angle, rings it off the top of the crossbar, out of play. That game tomorrow is listed as a 1. I believe that might be a typo. January, they have it as 1 a.m. I don't believe it will be a 1 a.m. puck drop here. We'll have that game on Price Productions as well as the Metro State Hockey channel, YouTube channel, excuse me. TJ through the zone. McLeod drops it off. Labulio, a shot saved by Orr. No, he scores! Mason Labulio able to beat Oren, and he makes it an 8-2 game. And the goals keep coming for Metro State today. I don't think Labulio knew that puck went in. But it did, so now still 10 minutes remaining in the third period. The Roadrunners with a 6-goal advantage. For Labulio, he's played 26 games this season. It's his first year with Metro, and before that he played at Heritage High from 23 to 25. Excuse me, 2023 to 2025. So the only one assist. TJ McLeod gets another point in today's game. Labulio adds a goal to his point total tonight as well. Shot from Green and a rebound, they score! On the doorstep, Wesley Amos was there to put it back to Loeffler. So they make it an 8-3 game with 10 minutes left to go. Want to give a shout out to Brennan Price in today's comment. And if you check tomorrow's game, we'll be at DU with a 1:15 puck drop. So that will be on Price Productions channel. So please tune in for that game. But in our, Wesley Amos takes that rebound from the shot from Green. Right place, right time for him. So cuts into this lead. Still a lot of work to do. Still trailing 5 goals as this shot from Gorsuch gets covered up by Oren. That's his 5th goal of the year, Wesley. And put his point total to 12. He's also the first year on the team. There's a lot of first-year guys for this Wyoming squad. A shot that Oren saved it with the glove. That almost had top shelf corner labeled there. Oren was able to keep that out. But for this Wyoming side, there was a lot of new players on this roster. So a lot of inexperience here at the ACH level as Jensen drops it off for number 16. I don't have him on my roster sheet. If anyone can let me know who wears number 16 for Metro State in the comments, that would be appreciated. Newell tries to clear this puck. Will hop into the neutral zone. Simcox will try to kick it to his blade. Up and gloved down by Berg. Roadrunners in. Waiting for reinforcement. Drops it on the boards. Gets intercepted. The Cowboys look the other way. May tries to get her on one. A good defensive play by Piper. And the Cowboys are offsides. 9:43 left in the third period. The Cowboys add another goal to their score sheet, but it's a 8-3 advantage for the Roadrunners. As May puts this behind the net. Thomas trying to fight for possession. Piper using his big frame to keep Thomas away from that puck. Hall feeling the pressure coming from Thomas, and a break for Rodriguez, and a good stick there by Patrick Loeffler to deny Daxton Thomas on that shot. So I like to shout out Patrick Loeffler's pads. Looks really fresh with these unis as the Roadrunners ice the puck. I mentioned Braden Piper could have 2 goals in this game if it wasn't for one that got called off in the first period. The refs say that he kicked it in with his foot, but he will get a shorthanded goal in the middle of the first period as the Cowboys here will use their first timeout. Head coach Kerry Heck trying to gather his guys, see what they can do with the last 8 minutes of the game. You can never say never, but a large hill that the Cowboys face now, that the Cowboys put themselves. On the estimate, just looking over their Cowboys roster, over 12 new players to the roster. So again, just a lot of new faces, chemistry that hasn't been yet built between this Cowboys team. And on the other end, a lot of the Roadrunners, a lot of the players been on this team for a while, so they have the advantage there for years with their team, and you can see the experience kind of just being a factor in today's game for the Roadrunners, who have played an exceptional game. Is exactly what you need to do after a tough weekend in the Classic, and a lot of good teams came down from the Classic. And that's exactly why you do it. You want to put your best against best and make a kind of just a case for yourself of why you should be added to the regional tournament at the end of the year. This Grand Horse, one-on-one, will race this into the corner. Rose took a stick high in front of Oren. No call there. Stafoya, good couple moves there to avoid the Cowboys forecheck. Schubert will put this back into his own zone. As Brandhorst has a couple of words for the referees, as he wanted a call there as he got tripped in the Cowboy zone. Rodriguez swats it into the corner. As 2 Roadrunners are able to take possession. Newell from the blue line shot, and a good block there by Fricky. Nate trying to get the possession of this puck, and it will trickle away back on Oren, but a good play there by Nate Fricky to strip that puck away and even have a chance towards the net. Fricky's played 26 games this year. Played 3 years in the USPHL with the Battle Creek Colonels before joining the team. It's his first year with Metro. Wearing number 17 for the Roadrunners. Speaking of him, Fricky trying to keep it in the zone. This puck will bounce out into the neutral zone. Berg on his horses will put a puck into the middle of the ice. No Cowboys was in the area, Berg fights for this puck. Amos will collect it at the balloon line. Simcox from behind the net. Cowboys looking to get anything going. Waldorf off the board, trying to play it to himself. McGrath pushes him off and gets it up to Berg. A possible 2-on-1 developing for the Cowboys. Gets it over to Simcox. Over to Amos, the Roadrunners. Able to strip the puck from him. Milliman puts it in the corner. Cowboys just not able to get any consistent zone time in the Roadrunner zone. Roadrunners now out shooting the Cowboys 43-36 as Tillinghast 1-4. Try to get a shot off there, blocked by May. Another shot, and Oren will cover up. Good play there by Jackson Tillinghast to stick with that puck. Tillinghast added to his goal total in the second period off of the shot from TJ McLeod that Rebound went right to his stick. He was able to bury it. Has 11 goals, will now have 12 goals and 11 assists for the year. He leads the team in the point department, does Jackson. It's Cowboys in their own zone. Behind the net now, that's Jaden Moybayed, excuse me. I haven't called his name much this evening. Cross-eye Siegel gets to Tillinghast. A good move there. He scores. Jackson Tillinghast with 2 goals in this game. What a move. Now have 13 goals on the year. Just absolutely undresses Orion. Goes to the backhand forehand. So a 9-goal day for Metro State. There's a cross-ice pass from the blue line right on the tape of Tillinghast. We'll see over the PA who gets that primary assist. But second goal for Jackson Tillinghast as he increases his point total. You can see why he leads the team. So McLeod and Labulio get the assist on it, and that's another point for Mason Labulio. So his spectacular day continues as well. And TJ McLeod, both of them have made a huge impact, and I mentioned it in the first period, but today's first line for Labulio, McLeod, and Tillinghast have looked phenomenal while the 3 of them are on the ice. Both of them with multi-point games. Or all 3 of them, excuse me. And a shot here that's gloved. I believe that's Hank Cash. I think I finally figured out the mysterious number 16 on the ice, and I believe it is Hank Cash out on the ice currently. His faceoff gets a haul, shot from the point, gets gloved by Oren, and he will hold on. Faceoff again, tied up in the Cowboy zone. Just 5 minutes left in our game. As Hall's able to fish his puck, gets it up to the point. Piper a shot, and another glove save by Oren. Tyler Oren in relief of Isaac Erickson. He's given up 2 goals in this third period, but a couple of dandy glove saves from him. Face-off kept in by zone. Out front, and a prime chance there for Brandhorst. Wasn't able to put it home. Another shot and another glove save by Oren. Pedersen with a chance at the net there. Brandhorst in for the face-off again against Amos. Amos wins his back. Millimon will send this around the boards. Berg will try to clear this out. Has possession of it, flips it up, looking for either Amos or Simcox. Good backhanded pass on the tape of Berg. Waldorf keeps that shot, and Loeffler will cover up in the breadbasket. We'll take a look at the opponent for tomorrow. Metro State will go on the road to DU. And so far, in 23 games played for the Pioneers, they have a 13-8-2 record. Like I mentioned before, a shot here off the face-off, and another save. Rebound still there, and they score. They celebrated. The Roadrunners wanted a whistle there. That's going to be the second goal of for Wesley Amos. He makes it a 9-4 game. So Amos, a 2-goal game for him. Now we'll have 6 goals on the year, does Wesley. Loeffler didn't know where the rebound was. It was in the skates of one of the Roadrunners players. It was eventually put home, and Wesley Amos was the first one in the celebration line. So 9-4 with 4 minutes left to go. Still a 5-goal deficit for the Cowboys. Cowboys zone now. Millimon will take this behind the safety of his own net. Through the neutral zone. Amos stays on the ice after that goal, tries to split the defense. Gets stripped of the puck. The Roadrunners trying to counter the other way. A shot here from Gorsuch goes off of Nate Fricke's equipment on the clearing attempt. Roadrunners trying to settle this game down, 3 minutes to go. Still with a comfortable 5-goal lead, but even if they're garbage time goals, you still want to keep those out of the net. Wyoming now through the neutral zone. Green trying to get it over for Donnellan, a little bit too far from him, and Margolis. Siegel was just a touch bit offsides. Now Metro State has eclipsed a 50 shot on goal mark. Absolutely have dominated in that category all game. Cowboys have 38 shots on goal for themselves. 38 shots themselves. Patrick Loeffler, I haven't called his name much in this third period. Has played a phenomenal game. So he'll have another win to his total. Loeffler will, improve his record to 5-12-1. Now keep in mind, some of the games on the website haven't been scored yet. I did my best to do the math on the totals for the last 2 games for the Big Mountain Classic. As Braxton Thomas tried to push his putt out in slot, gets intercepted by Tillinghast. May, forechecking there, keeps it in the corner. May out in front, had Thomas there, got intercepted by Labulio. Labulio backhanded over to Tillinghast, gets it over to McLeod. Just 2 minutes left on the game. A shot here that almost got tipped by Labulio past Oren. McGrath gets tear down, no call there. They'll just let this play out, and the turnaround shot blocked. Thomas tried to get it over to his brother, too far from his reach. Shot around, first to it's going to be Tillinghast. Thought he had a man behind him. Berg off the bench, steals that puck. McGrath backhanded, look for Amos off the equipment of Waldorf. And Tillinghast will collect this loose puck in his own zone. Tafoya over to Tillinghast. Tillinghast will lift his up to neutral ice. Just a minute left in our game, and the Cowboys ice this puck. Patrick Loeffler, this is also his second year on the team. Before that, he played 3 years with the Sheridan Hawks in the NA3 Hockey League before joining the team. And I mentioned at the top of the the tough start to the year for Patrick. And as the year's gone by, and he's rebounded quite nicely. Putting on a show today. He's given up 4 goals, and 2 of those goals I imagine he would want to have back as a nifty move there. A shot that's blocked in the slot. Another shot here by Cash gets sent behind the net. Roadrunners 110. We'll see if they can add it. 45 seconds left. In the corner, McGrath battling for possession of the puck. Jensen and Cash fall down, and it finally would come free for Amos. He turned over the putt for Cliff, and a shot that's not on mark. 28 seconds now. Cleared up and out. Loeffler will come out of his net and play this around the boards over to Tillinghast. Over to DeFoya, pushes it up for Cliff. Good pass on this take for Jensen. A shot and a save off the post, it's behind him. Oh boy, the Roadrunners were that close to making it a 10-goal advantage, a 10-goal game. Eight seconds left in the third period. Face-off coming in the Cowboy zone. Pretty much as a lock, so Metro State will lock their place in the division at third, and they will play the Pioneers in the playoffs. And the Cowboys will go down to Fort Collins and play CSU in their first playoff matchup. But your final today, after 60 minutes, it's a 9-4 victory for the Roadrunners. And a good way to start this weekend off. They'll be back in action tomorrow at DU. And then on Sunday, we'll see if that, again, pay attention to the social medias for each team. We'll let you know when that puck drop will either take place on Sunday or Monday. It's kind of all up in the air right now. But we'll have that game on air for you. Patrick Loeffler leads his team in the handshake line. It was a wonderful game from him. And a tough one for the Cowboys. The second period, they could have tied it 3-3 after the Mario Rodriguez penalty shot that got denied by Loeffler. And it was Roadrunners all from there. Today's crew, Sean Rosenberger on the call, Claire Kostelnik, my camera, and then Douglas Sheffield, my producer. A big shout out to them. Couldn't do this without you guys. But until tomorrow, Metro State will have a couple hours to regroup and put their minds on DU. Wish you a safe night. Stay warm out there. Sean Rosenberger signing off.